Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. I'm David.
I'm Donni.
We're here to give you the best entrepreneurial lessons of your life.
Yes.
But before we get there, we're talking about the human element of content, like humans, like loving on people.
Yo, it's a missing element. So we were watching this video because the audio listeners didn't see it, but we were watching a video where a young man just ran up to a woman who was walking alone, and he was on his phone.
Hold on. He didn't run.
He did a slight jog.
That was the coolest. No, he was walking up. It was so cool.
It was a brisk.
Paint the picture.
It was a brisk walk up. So he's walking through city streets, and there's a crowd.
Actually, I'll let you narrate it while watching it.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so he's walking through what looks like a New York street. They're approaching a stop sign. She's walking. She's texting on her phone. He's talking on the other ear on one phone. And he grabs her hand with his empty hand. And he doesn't grab it like aggressively. He grabs it like
that's one of them.
A man would his woman. Yeah. Like, come here, babe. And she looks at him and goes like this stunned look on her face. And then he just softly lets her hand go. He stays on the phone and he walks away. And then she turns around and does a brisk light jog. And she fine too.
Yeah, she a little baddie too.
She a baddie.
Yo, and my man dressed a little swaggerless a little bit, but I mean, it's, I don't like the way the bottom of his jeans bunch on his sneakers. But I think what's so cool is he walks up, grabs her hand, and gives her this look like, yo, how can we describe this look? He's looking away at first. He's on the phone. And then they lock eyes. He looks up and down, then lets her hand go.
Mm-hmm. Gently.
And just walks away.
Yeah.
But not before he peers into her eyes.
He gazed.
And makes a connection. And I think that's what stumbled her so bad. Like she's just... Hold on, what just happened? And he's not a bad looking person.
No, he's not a bad looking person.
I just don't like the way he's wearing his hat like Neo.
All the way down?
Like down to the side a little bit. I don't like that part. You know, like.
So we're not going to pick this tender, loving, caring man apart, okay?
Wearing his hat like Neo. The singer.
Oh, that's a bad look. I thought you meant Neo.
You know when you wear
that light
nah.
Anywho, either way, she was so shocked to be getting touched by a stranger, which saying that out loud, that's not surprising. But that brings us to and then David showed this video of this guy who goes around. You guys just heard me tell the story about the guy who goes around with the roses. And that brings us to the effects of the lack of human connection. Social media has us so in a trance, like we really feel like we're connected to people through the internet and through our handheld phone devices. And people aren't getting hugs. They aren't being kissed. They aren't hearing voices like directly being. What's so funny, David? I can't even get the thought out.
No, keep going. Because I found another one that I know you're gonna love.
Okay,
and I'm about to send it to you. Do you have Facebook on your phone already?
I do.
Oh my God, yo, this type of content is just phenomenal. I'm always thinking of how can I create this type of content. So, are you watching it? Give the play-by-play.
Let's watch it together. Hold on.
No, but talk through it for our audio listeners.
I can't see it. You talk through it.
All right, so this guy, turn the audio off. We don't need that. Or just, yeah. All right, so this guy, it's two friends. Friends talking, right? And he comes up, they're facing each other. The guy comes up behind one of them, taps her on the shoulder, and opens his arms for a hug. The girl he taps walks away like, hold on, get away from me. But he keeps his arms open for a hug. The friend that she was talking to sees it, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Like you could see it in her gestures. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. The other friend is like, yo, get away from me. So she goes behind the friend. He's opening. Now the girl that he didn't tap is now walking towards this man, about to hug him back.
Oh.
Her hating friend that he initially tried to hug is now pulling the girl back, like, don't hug no stranger. And he's sitting there just like with arms open wide. So she's actually in a trance, like, yo, I want to hug this man. So the girl is pulling, no, don't do that, don't hug. And this is like a real, you could tell this is not planned. Mm-hmm. So after the girl like is being pulled back by the hater, the guy makes his fingers like a half a heart.
And she does it too?
And she does it too. So they actually give a hug, right? You give a hug, the girl is like, hey, and so he does the half a heart, they do the half a heart thing together, and then he pulls a rose out and gives her the rose. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I am gonna do a reaction video to this because this is so fire. And my man just walks away. That's I like this organic type content, man. This is fire, bro.
What? Were we watching the right video? Shans,
yeah,
we weren't.
Yes, you were.
Because this is what I was on.
Oh, you're bugging. That's the wrong one. So, yes. So, this is what came there's up for a video me. Of, this is what we'll insert it into the video. We'll just keep the audio. But my point is, we really, like creative content, engaging content, this is what is winning out here. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that's wild. That's interesting. Okay, well, now you can see the video. Anyway, now let's just get into Podcast Summit because we were supposed to talk about it last week. Phenomenal event.
She pushed her friend off.
She's a hater. The other girl's a hater. She's a
She's a bona fide hater. Go ahead,
bitter.
talk. I'm looking at it from
bitter. She probably ain't got no man. And ain't gonna have one for a long time.
She ain't got no man.
And the other one is just, hey, if you giving out love, I'm taking
PM it. Friday, 95 degrees. She ain't got no.
Come on, man. Come on.
Okay, so, I don't have a man anyway, either, so let me pipe down.
All right, let's. I've got two things to discuss: our trip and Podcast Summit.
Let's
Which one you
get
want to
it.
do first?
Podcast Summit. Yeah, here you go. That's beautiful.
Phenomenal event. I didn't lose money this time, so
Podcast Summit was lit. It was an outstanding experience. It was an outstanding experience from beginning to end. There wasn't really too much. Like last year Podcast Summit, there were some things behind the scenes that the audience didn't know. Mm-hmm. Like disaster was happening behind the scenes, but we were scrambling around, sure. Disaster happening behind the scenes. And this year, none of that happened.
No disasters happened.
No disasters happened.
Any disasters? No disasters.
No disasters.
You know why no disasters happened? We didn't have any celebrities.
Because all the disasters from last year were focused based on the celebrities that were in attendance. Yep. Shout out to all the celebrities that attended. We appreciate those of you who showed up and those of you who didn't.
Yeah. I'm not going there because she might have me on her podcast.
Oh, I'm talking about last year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. But one speaker didn't show up.
One speaker didn't show up at the very last minute.
Yeah, for no other reason than I'm not coming.
I'm not coming.
So, shout out to that person.
Yeah, shout out to
that person.
Can I say her name?
No, please. That'll be the topic of our next conversation, and I don't want to do that. But it is what it is. We all have free will to do whatever we want. But that showed me that people are there for the information. And guess what? Nobody was upset. Nobody was like, yo, why? Nobody was upset. We replaced it with Hot Seat.
Yeah.
And that was a vibe.
Nobody even mentioned it. I don't even think people remembered.
One person said something.
Nobody said anything to me. So,
and again, we didn't have any, I mean, B. Simone's a celebrity.
For sure.
B. Simone's a celebrity, for sure. Shouts out to B. Simone. Delivered a phenomenal performance. And she talked about some stuff that she hasn't talked about publicly yet.
She did. She touched on her business, her having to shift gears and completely pivot. What I really liked was her talking about how she built a podcast successfully with a business partner who was her then best friend. And they had a girlfriend breakup, and she's doing it all over again. And what I liked so much about it was the name of her podcast and how it kind of summarized everything. She has this super big podcast. They're getting all these endorsements. They're going on tour. They're doing all the things. And then their friendship ends. And now it's like, do I do this again? And her new podcast is called Let's Try This Again. Yep. And I just thought like, wow, it was another point of where we notice how just living your life can pay off in a very huge way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always looking at you when we record because you're always sitting right here. Is that making you feel away? Okay. Because you're my audience, babe.
Yes. I mean, shouts out to B, man. And after everything was happening, she said, I'm going to do it again. This was like months before she dropped, maybe a year. I don't know how long the time frame was, but she was like, yo, I'm just going to do it again. And what's cool is her ex-co-host is killing it too.
She's killing it.
She is going absolutely crazy. I love all that she's doing. And unfortunately, friends break up.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that both of them are experiencing extreme success, and I like that. I like that. Yeah. And I haven't seen them like bashing each other or going after each other. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Haven't seen it either.
Have you seen it? Mm-mm. Oh, good. Well, shout out
I think their fans are bashing each other on behalf of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, their fans are probably going crazier than anything. Breakups are hard. Like romantic breakups are hard, but friend breakups, they are harder. Friend breakups are worse than, I mean, I guess it depends on if you got, how long you've been in this romantic relationship, but any girlfriend breakup that I've had, and thankfully I can only think of one as an adult, that friendship breakup hurt worse than a romantic breakup for me. Because you trust that person. It's the bond that you create. It's the sisterhood that you develop. That person knows everything, even things that your significant other doesn't know. That person is your sounding board to talk about your significant other with. Yeah. And then there's just like these codes of things that you don't do, and you don't expect friend breakups. Right. I think that there's always a known possibility of a romantic breakup, but nobody expects a friendship breakup.
Yeah, that's tough because you get very few friends in life.
You get very few friends in life. And once you make a friend, you expect to have a friend. Yeah.
It's easier. I think it's easier to come across a romantic relationship than it is a genuine friend relationship. I think you'll have more romantic relationships in life, where I'm in love with this person. And there's so many dynamics, but you'll have very few really, really close friends.
Yeah, especially depending on what age you're at. A lot depends. You'll have very few authentic people in your life, period. You'll have very few. I believe that we've even realized how many relationships have been and still are very transactional.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And I'm okay with that.
I recognize that.
Yeah, I recognize it and I'm totally fine with it.
You can be super cool with the people too.
I have a lot of transactional friends that I'm cool with and that I would be there for if something happened. But I understand that we're in a season right now where this relationship benefits us both in some kind of way. And it's cool. It's okay.
I want to have a conversation around that at some point. You know what I mean? Like how we're classifying these friends. So for instance, I don't think they're mine. Circle of CEOs. They got Alex, Jason, 500, Neo, and Justin Owens, right? And I think they have a really tight bond.
You just say 500?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you got Alex and Jason who grew up together.
Yes.
Right? Which is maybe a stronger bond. And I think, like, if you look at, like, people who break up, who's never breaking up? You feel me? So Jason and Alex, and phenomenal group of people. But I wonder how they look at their relationship because they met as entrepreneurs or met as, and even in my relationship with these people, right? I've had deeper situations happen with different people and I always just count everybody a friend, but yeah, I think everybody just defines it differently. I wonder how they would look at it, or a similar group of people would look at it.
Yeah. 5, I just released an episode literally yesterday of Full Transparency with 500, and he explained their friendship.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We talked about their friendship and how they all, came together. A lot of them were introduced as entrepreneurs, but I think those guys are brothers. Like, I don't think anything will separate them. And the reason that I say that is because they don't really do business together, so to speak, outside of the circle of CEO thing that they do in their meetups and stuff, but their livelihood isn't depending on one another. And a lot of times that matters.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'm genuinely friends with all of those guys, right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of genuine relationships. Maybe we look at it this way. We are cool. I'll support you. You support me. You need to think I got you. But if it's me or them, we're on trial, right? So I saw this prank the other day where the guy was pranking his uncle, where a cop came up and there was like cocaine. I don't know if it was real cocaine, but it was like cocaine in the backseat of the car. So the nephew was pranking his uncle. The cop comes, he's like, yo, so, they going through their procedures and they find the cocaine in the back seat of the uncle's car. And they ask the uncle, whose is this? He's like, yo, I don't know. I never seen that in my life. He's like, yo, one of y'all going down for this thing. Like one of y'all going downtown. And the uncle was like, I don't know where that could have been, but he was like, yo, I'll take it. I'll go with y'all. It's a skit and it's funny, but that's an example of, okay, let's change the scenario. That thing happens, it's you and Deja in the car. The cop says, one of y'all are going, and they're looking at you saying, I have to take one of y'all.
Whose car are we driving?
Her car. Driving Deja's car.
We're driving Deja's car?
We're driving Deja's car.
How much cocaine is it? I got questions. It's not, because, girl, I'm over here like, why is there cocaine in your car? As soon as they start running my tags, or running her tags, I'm asking questions. Is this yours? Has anybody else been in your vehicle? I'm asking questions.
So she says, I don't know.
If she absolutely doesn't know, I'm taking it.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But if it's hers, be clear.
Yeah, okay.
If it's hers and she's aware, be clear. I'm going to get you the best lawyers available.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we change the scenario. It's you and Maya in a car. Like, Maya, I love you. You're my dog.
I'm not.
But you shouldn't be riding around with cocaine, first off.
First of all, I'm in the car like, why would you have me in the car with this? Why would you put me in this situation? Do you know who I am? Do you know who we are?
So it is not like a slight against friendship, but I think it just depends on the bond you have. And I think that's what defines true friendship. Like, will I sacrifice myself? Will I give up some things to make sure you're taken care of?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man.
So if you and I were riding in a car, same scenario, I'm not taking the charge for you.
Okay.
But if I'm the only match that you needed for a kidney, I'm giving you my kidney all day.
You'll give me a kidney?
For sure, without question. I almost got teary-eyed just thinking about it. I would give you my kidney. If I'm the only match, if Dre and the kids don't match, I'm giving you my kidney all day. But I'm not going to jail for you.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Oh, it's all good. I would have to like really. One, I want to check the health of my other kidney.
Well, we're definitely doing that. Like, what's the probability of?
I want to make sure my other kidney's good, but that other one, you got it, yo. But you really, I think the point of this is you really don't know who your friends are until you have to go through something, and maybe not as extreme as going to jail or a kidney and all that kind of stuff. But like, are you willing to drop what you have for a friend? There's a lot of things you can do with $500. I mean, you can have a night out with your significant other. You could buy some really expensive shoes. Well, really nice shoes are about double $500. You could buy a course where you can learn something for $500. But I have something better for you to do with the $500. I want to meet with you every single morning for the rest of your life. Well, maybe not the rest of your life, but every morning, Monday through Friday, for the rest of the year. I have information and game that have allowed me to build a successful business, a successful community, and a successful life all the way around. But I want to share that with you. But the only way we can accomplish this is not me selling you a course, not me giving you a one-on-one consultation, because even with that, you'll get the information, but you'll need more. I want to meet with you every single morning. Now, would I meet with someone every morning for $500 for a year? And the answer is yes. Actually, we've been doing this thing since 2017. We have what's called the morning meetup. Every single month we have a theme, whether it's social media, whether it's motivation, whether it's strategy, whatever it is, we have a theme for the month, and every morning in that month, we have a conversation around that topic. And I am giving a wealth of knowledge, not only myself, but a lot of friends, a lot of people that you see on this podcast, they join every single week. So you need a community of people that you can grow with, and you need a coach. I'm your coach. The Morning Meetup is your community. Go to themorningmeetup.com. It's $499, and I will meet you every single morning for an entire year. Give it a shot.
So interesting. I was just reading on Instagram this morning, the very first post I saw, maybe I can find it. Very first post that I saw said, is there a page called BLP that I follow? No, Black Love page maybe. Very first post that I followed or that I saw, this young lady was saying that, hold on, let me see if it's this. My internet moves so slow when
what kind of service you
I
got?
need it. This. Okay. Anyway, it's not this page. I thought it was going to be this page. But anyway, the post said, she wrote in to ask a question because her and her very, very close friend have been tight for more, for years. It didn't say how many years, but it said for years, and they're extremely close. And she was saying how they had been there for each other throughout certain life experiences. And her friend got married, and for her friend's wedding gift, she gave her a pair of diamond earrings. She said after the wedding, her friend ghosted her and stopped talking to her completely. And she feels like it's because now she's a married woman and she feels like she can't have single friends. And so she completely ghosted her very close friend.
It could be her husband's influence.
First of all, it's 100% her husband is influencing this. But if somebody else can influence you to not be friends with your friends, were you ever a friend?
Say that one more time because I think that was deep.
If someone else can influence you to not be friends with your friend, were you ever their friend?
Ooh. I think I don't know how fair of a statement that is because there's so many factors. Mm-hmm. Because you could be in love with someone and you're trusting that this person has your best interest at heart. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Nah. I tried.
Because a person who loves you would not ethically pull you away from relationships that serve you. If someone loves you and they see harm in this relationship, then sure, I will encourage you to think about that relationship. But if these are relationships that are healthy for you and I love you in a healthy way, I'm not pulling you away from your friends. Now, if my love is based off of selfishness and my desire to only have you, focused on me, that's not healthy love. And I'll probably try to pull you away from your friends.
Okay. Friend group. Me, you, let's say, who else? Me, you, let's say Ernestine, Maya, Marcus. We're a group, right?
We just went on a trip together.
Yeah, we went on a trip together.
Shout out to the friend group who makes it off of, not only do we make it out of the group chat, we planned the trip on Friday and be gone the Tuesday of the next week.
100%. For sure. We was in that group chat and made it happen.
Made it happen.
So we're all friends. Let's say, for instance, me and Maya get into it. We have a real beef, a real issue. She does something to me, I do something to her. Mm-hmm. And we split. Mm-hmm. Is it fair for me to feel a way that you're still hanging out with her?
I saw you post something about this.
Yeah, it was my post yesterday. Mm-hmm. But it was a different scenario, kind of different scenario. The post was, let me read it. The post was, where's it at? Pretty much, okay, here we go. Okay, my internet's acting up. What in the world? I hope I ain't get hacked. Yeah, if I have a friend that is friends of an enemy, is that a friend or an enemy?
Mm-hmm. So one of my best friends is friends with my enemy.
One of your best friends is friends with an enemy.
Friends with an enemy.
Currently.
Somebody who I would drag up and down 285.
Really?
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Text me a name.
No, you don't know the person. That's how insignificant she is to me at this point.
Gotcha.
However, in the beginning, I felt a way because that ex-friend did something really foul. Mm-hmm. And I felt a way, like, how would you continue to be friends with this person and blah, 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 blah. However, the mature side of me says she did something foul to me. She didn't do her experience with this person is very different. And also they were friends first. Mm-hmm. They were really good friends.
They were friends first.
Before I came in the picture. Now, we've all been friends for over 20 something years at this point. So you stop really counting the years after a certain point. But I don't apply any pressure. And we were a friend group. There was 3 of us. I don't apply any pressure to my other 2 friends to not be friends with her. Now, what my deal breaker is, though, like, if I want to say she is stupid, don't correct me. Okay. Like, don't be like, oh, don't say that. Don't play with me. If I want to say...
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. Because you would want them to defend you if the other person was talking about you.
No, I just want you to not get involved, right? I want you to not have anything to say to either of us. If she feels like she needs to vent about me, let her say whatever she's going to say, but you don't have to tell her for me, like, oh, that's not nice. Leave Donni alone. Because don't tell me that.
I'd prefer that.
I don't. Because if there's something, every now and then I have a little slick remark. Mm-hmm. And they just let me be me. I'm not going to put them in a situation where they have to comment about her. I'm not looking for a 2-way conversation, right?
But if you're saying something to someone, you're not saying it, you're saying it for a reaction. Otherwise, you'd say it on your own in your room by yourself.
No, it's more like, for example, there was an event and someone said, hey, just letting you know, such and such is going to be here. And I was like, I don't give a crap about that little da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I said what I said. I didn't ask you to respond to it. I'm not looking for a response. Like, they were giving me the courtesy of saying, hey, you gonna be good? Because such and such is gonna be here. And I was like, I don't care about such and such and such and such. She doesn't dictate my life. That was the end of it.
Yeah,
if the response came back and was like, I'm not gonna tolerate you saying that, then we have a problem.
No. I think that's different than saying, yo, I don't care. I'm good with that. Whatever they doing, they doing. It's different than saying, yo, I'm not going because she be lying. You know she be lying about people, right? All the time. And she be stealing. She's a thief.
Yeah, so we're so far beyond that conversation. In the beginning, though, it was that. And there was a little tension. Yeah. But we've all matured. We've all moved on. And it's okay. Like, I can exist around people that I don't like.
Yes.
I can exist and I can separate my friends.
But if someone's attacking me, I don't care who it is. If you're my friend, I want you to, especially if they're lying or something like that.
That's different. So nobody can really say anything bad. I'm not the friend who's going to sit and just hear what you got to say. I'm not that friend. So if you're like my friend for real, like David, nobody can sit in here and have a 10-minute conversation with me about you. I'm immediately going to be like, did you talk to him about it? Does he know about it? Let me get Dave on the phone. I shut it down. Like, I shut it down. You can't vent to me about my real friends. Right. If it's just somebody that I'm cool with, I might listen, right? But my real friends, don't do it. You can't come to me. Don't come to me talking about none of them. And that's just that. Now, if someone is coming and saying, Dave didn't do such and such and such, I'm getting you on the phone. Yo, such and such is saying 100%. Blah, 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 blah. That's just how I operate. And the reason for that is to protect us, to protect you, and to protect me, and to send a message to this person. Like, don't ever think it's so sweet that you can come and talk crap to me about people that I love. Yep. I'm never going to let you know that there's that kind of weakness, because that doesn't exist for us. Right. But yes, if there is a conversation taking place and there's a group of people talking trash about me, I expect you to defend me. But we're talking about general population, not our friend group. If it was our friend group, so if it were me, you, and Ernestine, and you came to me talking trash about Ernestine, I would say, I think that's so unfortunate. You guys are close and we need to get on the phone and fix this. That's my response. I'm not going to say, well, Ernestine is better than you and you're better than... Y'all, we got to get on the phone and fix this. Yeah. That's just how I'm going to operate. And also, it's important, like in friend groups, we have our group, and then we have our jokes, that our friends are aware of. Like my friend Maya, I can joke to you about Maya behind Maya's back about her eating off my plate. We can, because I would joke about that in Maya's face. And like Maya, every chance we get, and she's not hurt or offended by that. But if it were a different you just have to know your friends. Yeah, you gotta know your friends. I do think though, and speaking of Ernestine, she used to publicly pronounce, like, you got to choose sides, right? She used to publicly say it on her social media. That's my girl. She's like, you got to choose sides. And one day I talked to Ernestine and I'm like, I don't really choose sides anymore. And as life has gone on, she's now kind of understanding, like, you know what? There is no need to choose sides. When you choose sides in relationships, like, you have friends who are in a relationship and you're good friends with both parties and the relationship goes bad. Do you automatically choose sides? No. I mind my business. You mind your business. I love minding my business, y'all. You have no idea. I don't like to be involved. Because once I get involved, like, I'm in it. So, like, that's why I'm saying, if somebody's like talking, I don't care who it is, somebody Dave's just talking about Donni. You feel me? I don't want to come back to you like, yo, your daughter was saying this, this, and this, because I'm in fear that your next question is, well, what did you say? For sure. I am always. And I need to be prepared. I need to be prepared to answer this question. Well, I didn't just sit there and let it happen. I'm always going to defend my friend. I don't care what the situation is. Even if it's a friend, like if it's, Brandon, best friend Brandon, best friend Donni, he says something, I'm going to defend you. You say something about him, I'm going to defend you. That I'll get involved. But like what you were saying, if it's just like an associate or something like that, or somebody, I'm cool. Yeah, I don't get involved in everything. And I'm not getting involved in y'all stuff either. My involvement is going to be to try to fix it, not necessarily to defend you against Milan or you against Ernestine. Yeah. My involvement will be like, y'all, let's just fix this. Yeah. If it's fixable. And if not, y'all going about y'all's own separate ways. I literally just had to tell a friend 2 weeks ago, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, everybody know, like, if this is real beef, sometimes you just need to vent about something, and I'm cool with that. But if y'all got some real beef happening, because both of y'all my friends, I don't want to hear it. I'm good. Man, so listen, y'all, cherish your friends. Even if you go through some turbulence, I'm telling you, it's so hard to find a friend these days. You know what I mean? And here's my question. Now we're going into entrepreneurship, business stuff. How do you navigate in networking with people that maybe your goal isn't to be their best friend, but you have to build that relationship because you want something specifically? Yeah, I think you be honest. You approach it from a very honest place. So, like, if I were just meeting you today, if we were just meeting for the first time today, and you'd already had a podcast, and I wanted to do a podcast, and we had a conversation, I say, "Oh wow, we have a lot of things in common. I'd love to learn more about podcasting, but also, like, we got some things in common. Let's exchange numbers." I am quick to say, "Let's exchange information and see how we can help each other in the future." That's how I start that.
That's really good. I thought it was going to be a longer conversation, but that was so good. Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, because we're adults. We know that everybody's not our friend. We also know as business people that we have to leverage other human beings in order to grow our business. Yeah. And that is completely ethical and completely okay. Every single person who has ever made a purchase has been leveraged to build somebody's business, right? Yeah. It's just now you don't get to be friends with the CEO of Colgate or whoever makes it, right? Now you have access in the day and age of social media, and everybody wants to be like your genuine friend. And I'm not closed off from acquiring any more genuine friends. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I meet outstanding people all the time. I have outstanding people that I talk to on a regular basis, but we're not genuine friends. This isn't somebody that I'm going to with my deepest, darkest secrets. But I love them so much. Like, oh wow, I really, really rock with her or him.
It's a good vibe. Yeah. So I think people are protected from getting too close to certain people. And a lot of us classify you either friend or associate. You're not a friend. Everybody a friend to me. I don't care. Like, so, until you do something weird to me, you're my homie. I'm good. But I also will not let you get close enough to put a knife in my back either.
For sure.
Like, I'm not about to start telling you stuff that you can use against me later. We cool. Well, we vibe. I rocks with you. But we got to be careful in these relationships where you fall so in love with the person because y'all got a good business relationship that you think that that's a real relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's not.
They're around you because y'all make money together. Yep. You're around them, if you're going to be honest, because y'all make money together. When things really get serious, that's how you find out. But I'm not gonna like start treating you different because I understand this is a business relationship. Like, yo, you're not my friend. Yo, you're my friend. I rocks with you. But I'm still gonna be a little guarded. E.T. said something that was so powerful one time. And this had to be maybe 10 years ago. And he said, my wife, and I think at this point they've been married for a couple decades anyway. But he said, my wife is just now starting to do things that she wouldn't do our first 5 years of marriage.
My wife is just now starting to do things that she wouldn't do in our first 5 or 6 years of marriage.
He said that it's a process of learning each other, and you don't completely open up just because you've been married for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Sometimes some people are so hurt by relationships, maybe they don't truly open up for 20 years of marriage. Like, okay, now I can finally trust you with my deepest, darkest secrets. There's a million things Dre has not told me about her past.
For sure.
There's a million things I haven't told her. And you have to earn that. So just because we've been doing business for 6 months or a year doesn't mean that you've earned a certain status in my life where, yo, you are the closest thing to me and I can tell you everything. I'm saying be careful because they're gangs that, like, y'all connected because y'all a gang. Y'all talk about loyalty or family to one of y'all got to sit on that stand. And it's very few people I'm going down for. If there's a misunderstanding, I think I would, I'm not going to admit to a crime, but I'll never say, well, I think Donni, I mean, we don't know how she really makes money like that. I mean, she could be dealing, I don't know. I'll defend you. I'm not gonna like say, okay, this is Michael Caine in this car.
Right.
But we're still at a point where they can't get me in another room and get me to tell on you.
First of all, just know that if we're in 2 separate interrogation rooms, I'm not cracking.
Yes.
All right.
Come on, man.
I ain't folding.
Let's go.
I'm just not. I'm not, because we're smarter than that.
Yeah.
You can just, first of all, we're just smarter than that.
First of all, we're never riding around with cocaine.
We're never riding around.
Or guns with the serial number scratched off. We're just not in that lifestyle. You feel me? Well, I mean, You don't got the serial number stats.
No, I have a serial number on
Okay. But I'm saying, like, we've built that connection.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, no. But I also don't know many people that are good people that I'd just be like, oh yeah, for sure. He be getting that coke now. He be getting the bag. I'm just I don't know. We're friends. We're for sure friends. And you can call these other people your friends as long as you know that some people are transactional friends, some people are lifelong friends, some people are seasonal friends, and that is okay. And I think that we need to stop being so offended by short-lived friendships and start really thinking about what these friendships are at the start. And they can evolve over time, but today, this is what this friendship is.
For sure. And I think the longer you go through things together, the more like tighter the bond is. I remember one time, I don't know where I was, but I needed like $300 real bad. This had to be, 39? This had to be almost 20 years ago. And Brandon was in the military and he sent me the money. I was like, yo, I needed that so bad. Fast forward a few years later, we're in kind of like different situations, and the same exact money. He was like, yo, I needed like $300. Gave it to him, no problem. I never forgot that because I needed that.
Yeah.
Fast forward, maybe like 2 years ago, one of my blood relatives was like, yo, I'm in this situation and I need a couple $1,000. I need like $2,000 to help me get back home. And I'm just in a situation. I'm like, my rule is I can give $1,000, but no more. I'm not doing that. So I was like, yo, I can give $1,000. He's like, yo, I got you. Next week, I got you. I sent him $1,000. I've not heard from this man in 2 years. And this is my blood relative, like a blood relative.
Same exact thing happened to me.
And it's like, you and your family, I've known you my entire life. But there are people that have come to my life later that if you don't have the money, you'd be like, yo, I ain't got it. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'm not pressing you.
But to hide from me.
I haven't talked to this man since. So it had to be 2 years ago. So like, that's not a friend. You feel me? That's just not a friend.
That's not a friend.
Yeah, that joint kind of
and all family isn't friends. No, I totally.
He's watching this right now.
I totally feel you. I have a very similar situation with a family member that we were very, very extremely close growing up, and then as adults, we had a bit of a situation that occurred because of a decision that he made that I wasn't really feeling, and I voiced my opinion on it, and he cut me off for voicing my opinion on it. It had to do with something. He cut me off, and it had to do with another person. He basically chose this other brand new person, right? And cut me off, hurt. So for years, we hadn't had much conversation outside of see you at an event, and it's like, hey, blah, 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 but we were tight.
Yeah.
Fast forward to last year, this person is in trouble. And that person that they cut me off for is no longer around, right? Yeah. So fast forward, they need $9,000. And I'm the only person that can give it to you. And they called me. And in fairness, we had a conversation prior to that, like around my birthday or something. And we'd had a conversation prior to that. That person needed $9,000 without question. I asked no questions because of the reason that they needed it. What's your bank wire information? And that person was supposed to pay it back in 60 days. And they drug me along for like 4 months before they finally just stopped responding altogether. Just stopped responding altogether. And then now it's awkward because you can't come to the family event without seeing me. Yeah.
Have you seen the person? I mean,
and it's just been a year. It's just been a year, but it's hurtful because it's hurtful for so many reasons. It's hurtful for so many reasons. Like even when you gave me your ass to kiss, when you needed me, I immediately showed up for you. And now you're giving it to me to kiss all over again. And so now it's not even about the money. I just feel played. Yeah. I feel so played. Yeah. But my friends, would never do that. I have given money, blah, 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 would never do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Until they do that.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
like you don't find out until you find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't know until you find out. You're like, oh, wow. I would have never imagined that this person would do that.
Mm-hmm.
So shouts out to them. We did have a little friend trip, which I think everybody should do. Everybody should take a little friend trip.
We had a friend trip. Our friend trips be such a vibe.
Yeah.
Because we're on a group trip, but when we need our alone time, we by ourselves too.
Oh, for sure. It wasn't like one person saying, we got this itinerary. It's like, yo, Rozier, if he ain't with it, he's just not with it. Like,
Marcus Rozier, shout out to, so it was Marcus Rozier, Ernestine Morrison, myself, David, and Maya Elias. And we're all very, I think Maya is probably the most go with the flow of the group. But, and you're very much, I don't know, David, you've been putting your foot down a lot.
It was the one dinner I'll just say I'm not going.
You've been putting your foot down a lot lately, and I'm not used to it yet.
When have I been putting the ones I just didn't go that one dinner? I was sleeping.
I mean, it's been going on for some months.
No, give me an example.
I can't give you an example right now, but it's been going on for some months. When you put your foot down, you've been putting your foot down.
I've been choosing me.
You've been choosing you, and friend, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it.
I've been choosing
if
me.
you choosing you doesn't benefit us, I don't know if I like it. So no, shout out to Maya because she's so go with the flow. She's like, look, whatever we doing, just let me know. Marcus just won't answer. Marcus just won't answer.
Yeah.
He will disappear out of the group chat, and me and EJ gonna fight it out. We gonna fight it
back
out.
and
you
forth,
hear me?
back and forth.
No, we're going here. No, we're going here. Donnie, I said. EJ, I said. And we are just gonna stand off. You hear me? But we had an out. So we go on this trip annually at this point. This is our annual trip, but this one we took quite early because we usually do it at the end of the year around our birthdays. And we took this trip.
And we will.
And we still will.
And we still will.
And we still will.
We need to start planning it now then, maybe.
Right. We literally planned this trip and went in the next week. So after Podcast Summit, David and I looked at each other. I'm like, yo, how you feel? You were outstanding. You did an incredible job, yada, yada, yada. He's like, yeah, I need a trip. And I said, let's do it. So we go on this trip, and the purpose of the trip is for us to kind of mastermind, really, because we have a group of friends, a small group of friends who understand that masterminding our next steps is fun for us.
Facts.
Like, this is fun. So of course we want to lay out, and maybe some of us may want to hit the spa, and we're going to work out. We're going to do all those things, but we're laying out at the beach. We're having like a 50-50 balance of like fun and people watching and eating. And then, yo, what you got going on in your business right now? What's the next move for you? Or I have this issue going on in my business. What do you guys think the next move for me should be? And it was an outstanding time. We went to Miami. Not only that, we don't have an argument about the 5-star requirement standard that I had. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because trust me, if I were not in the group chat, y'all would have been very 3.5 star-ish.
Yeah, we'll leave that up to you. Yo, you know what? I'm proud of myself with, though? The final night we were out, we went to dinner. And it was me, Donni, Ernestine, and Maya. Marcus was doing a call, and we split the bill. I felt no pressure or responsibility for taking care of these ladies. Everybody put their card up individually. And I looked at myself and I said, that's growth. Because the last like 30 minutes of a dinner like this, my brain starts to, should I take care of this? Am I paying for this? And I didn't feel that not one time. So shouts out to me. I'm growing.
Yeah,
choosing
shouts
me.
out to you. And are you growing, or do you just do that in front of me now?
No, I'm growing.
Y'all, let me tell you something. Me and David were in LA. I don't even remember why we were in LA.
I think it was BT.
Okay. No.
Because we left there, then we went to dinner. I think it was BT.
No, because I'm thinking of one person specifically at the table who was probably not at BET. We were there though.
It was Monray was there, Skittles was there.
Skittles wasn't there.
Skittles was there.
No, not at dinner. Not at this
It was
dinner.
Monray and her. boyfriend or something. I remember I was sitting on the banquette.
Anyway, so we're at dinner and we all agree. Okay, so maybe it was BET, but there were like 4 different clusters of people, right? That everybody at the table is not all friends, but everybody is like friends with me and David. And so there's like 4 different clusters of people, and we got like tables put together, and we're at Ocean Prime.
Yeah.
Google the menu, all right? We're at Ocean Prime. The bill comes. It's a 4-digit bill. And before the waiter could even, like the waiter put the bill right in the middle of the table. And before the waiter could even walk away, David takes his card out to pay for it. And I like slapped his hand away because
that was a moment.
That was a moment.
For me.
I slapped his hand away from putting his card down because we had previously been having conversations about people feeling entitled to you paying the bill or whatever man is at the table, or if I am the person that's at the table in certain groups. Like, we have been having these conversations like, don't nobody be pulling their cards out rapidly. So David's pulling it out. I slapped his hand away and he looks like, what? I'm like, you are not about to pay for all these people. I mean, because they got their team with them, they got spouses with them, they got significant others. And that wasn't the agreement. We weren't inviting, we're all here working and like, let's go all eat after this day of work. And then nobody had a problem pulling their cards out. It worked out. But since then, I think you've been doing a really, really good job not being the person. Listen, let me tell you who I am. I'm the last person to pull my card out these days. I'm the last one on purpose. I am the last person on purpose because I just want to give everybody an opportunity to, who was it on, where was it? Me and you, I was talking to, and somebody was like, I'll sell it to you. And I said, no, I'll wait. We were somewhere at dinner, and somebody who was there when the check came was like, oh, Donni, I'll sell you my part. They got up and went to the bathroom when the waiter brought the check, and they were like, I'll sell you my part. I said, oh, no, we'll wait.
We'll just wait.
We'll wait right here.
Come back.
Because the Zelle never comes. And when if the Zelle comes, the 73 cents never comes with it. Okay? The 73 cents never comes with it. And I just feel taken advantage because where's my 96.73?
They never
I want my 96 and my 73 cents.
Yeah, you know when I learned this lesson? It was last year at your birthday when y'all tried to get upset at me for being the only man at the table.
You are so
and
whack.
Not paying
you are
the bill.
So whack.
I realized then and there, I said, you know what? This will be the last time.
First of all, y'all, we've talked about this so many times, but that skit was actually David's idea. It was actually David's idea, and it was a good time. However, I think those comments actually gave you more fuel to justify why you don't pay the bill.
And I wound up paying the bill that night. But I knew I was going to do that anyway because it was your birthday party.
No, but we had discussed prior to, like, he actually called me. I invited more friends to this birthday than him and Ernestine planned to invite. And that's just because don't have me on the internet looking crazy at a birthday dinner and my friends ain't here. You know, like my day ones aren't here. So I told them, hey, I know Ernestine and David are planning something. Call them. I don't know what it is. Call them. So David calls me. David and Ernestine call me on a 3-way. And they're like, David says, so the guest list has gotten much bigger. It was going to be just me, you, and Ernestine. And I'm like, look, I don't know. I just told them to call. So David says, so hypothetically, if a birthday girl was having a birthday dinner and her male best friend intended to pay for said birthday dinner, does male best friend have to pay for all of the other guests that she invited? So I said, David, are you trying to ask me if you got to pay for all my friends? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, absolutely not. And they're not even coming with that expectation. And so he was like, okay, thank God. But then, and so I remind everybody to pay. Hey, everybody, get your cards out, look at your amount, yada, yada, yada. And he goes and pays the whole bill anyway.
Yeah, but it was all good. And plus, it wasn't that many. Like, if it was me, you, Ernestine, and my family, I would pay.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think it was only Bree, Who else was there?
Bree and Nikki.
Yeah, Bree and Nikki were there.
And Candace.
Candace came late. She didn't eat.
And she didn't eat.
So I didn't feel comfortable saying, all right, all of us on one and then y'all by yourselves. I didn't, with the figures. Y'all, them two over there, they got their own situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was all good though, man. But you're my friend.
You're my friend.
So like we have fun. I want to take care. Like typically, if we go out to eat, I'm gonna take care of it because you're my friend.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Don't discredit the time or two that I've actually paid for something.
How many times have we gone out?
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yo, you know what it depends on? Where we go. Dottie will pull out our card depending on where we at.
Like, oh, we at Ocean Prime? Yeet. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll sell it to you. Yo, but seriously, why does the Zelle never come with the tip or the change?
No, yeah. For sure. They're only calculating pre-tip. No, we're not doing that.
No, I'm not doing that.
I need all of that.
I need all my money.
Good. Yo, so all right, so takeaways from what was your personal takeaway from the friend trip? Because we got to teach them some entrepreneur. Is there something we need to teach right now? Something we need to. This conversation was all over the place.
This conversation is all over the place. Y'all, we got to do better.
Well, I think they come because we get to talk about what we want to talk about when we want to talk about it.
Yo, Social Proof Podcast is a podcast for entrepreneurs who enjoy hearing us talk about whatever we want to talk 100%. About.
But it's all related to who we are and how you become. It's not just business education that creates who you are and how you operate.
Yeah.
It's all of the stuff. You know what I mean? When we're not feeling good, the reasons we want to quit, the reasons we keep going, our personal life, family life, financial life, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff is what creates a successful entrepreneur. And we've decided to jump into an industry where we get to be ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I ask you this question too?
Oh,
while we close?
I don't know, maybe.
So I was having a conversation with Jay Hill.
Okay, this sounds safe.
About the hot seat. And he thinks that, so I did his hot seat, and this young lady that was on the hot seat, she did a response video. It was like, he's doing this stuff just for likes and views at my expense.
A recent one? Mm-hmm. Was it the one that just dropped?
Yeah, well, not today. The one right before that. And she's like, yo, he made me something like I made her answer the answers that she's answering.
Why do you look like this?
I don't know. It's off. It's off now. Why is Tyshawn just called me answer it? Because he just called me too.
Hey, Ty. You are on the Social Proof Podcast.
It must be important because
I know.
he just called.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, go ahead. Let y'all do y'all show. I'm gonna just call me when you get some time.
Oh, this ain't one of those ones.
What did it have to do with? Because you called both of us.
Do your show.
What did it have to do with?
I actually wanted some feedback. I wanted some feedback while it was fresh on y'all minds because I had to talk to somebody I trust to tell us how we did on the episode.
Oh, let's do that now. Turns out that we talked about Podcast Summit at this episode, so let's give you some feedback now.
We didn't
yes,
really.
Please give us.
You're talking about how you did at Podcast Summit?
Critical feedback.
You said you're talking about at Podcast Summit how you did?
Yeah, as speakers and educators, that was our first time doing that.
I'm gonna go back and watch the video and let you know.
I like that.
I haven't seen it yet. How do you think you did?
Well, based on the feedback of the people, we got really, really great feedback. Which felt really good.
So you just want more validation?
Well, the feedback that you and Donni can give me as people in the space of education is going to be different from people who obviously are not as critical about speaking in general.
Tyshawn, are you trying to get this information so you can record it and put it on your landing page for your speaker funnel?
I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he gets the line.
Are y'all over there working on a speaker funnel right now? Book us.
Listen, I'm so far from a speaker funnel right now. That is definitely not what we're doing. I'm just, addicted to growth, baby. I just like to know where I stand on the spectrum.
Hey, listen, first off, y'all getting real money these days. You need to just take us out to dinner.
For sure. Oh, you know what, Ty? Let's have this conversation at Hal's.
At Hal's?
Or H&W, whichever one.
Ty, y'all getting real money out here. Y'all getting real money out here.
Dave, are you available Monday night?
This upcoming Monday night? Mm-hmm. You trying to? Is it just me or is this me and Ryan?
Can we go Wednesday the 31st?
We can go Wednesday the 31st. Are you available Wednesday the 31st?
Wednesday the 31st?
For dinner.
Next Wednesday.
I eat steak.
We eat now if there's a bone-in filet or a bone-in ribeye on the menu, I'm just giving you advance notice that y'all better run that Patreon up real quick.
Oh, for sure. And if it depends on that appetizer list too.
And if the appetizers are hidden and they got an off-menu special, all I'm saying is there's gonna be a comma in the check.
We're trying stuff.
Oh my goodness.
There doesn't necessarily have to be a comma. I'm joking, but me and Dave do try like 80% of the appetizers on the menu.
Yeah. We're there for the experience, Tayshawn. It'll be valuable though.
And I don't share my food, so when they say shareable sides, I ignore that part.
Yo, how did this just happen?
So hold on. So what time Wednesday? Time? What time Wednesday?
Wait. What's going on right now?
You wanted some feedback to enhance your professional career. We want to give you that feedback for sure.
Yep.
But we think better when we're eating.
Yeah.
And
is this live on the show right now?
This is.
And see, guys, this is how you get bullied into, by the big bros of the community and big sisters of the community. It's a tax.
Are we the old heads out here?
Yo, so I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. What time did you say on Wednesday?
And the aunties, which is nothing wrong with that because
what time is work? We got to wrap this up.
All right, yeah, time. So just put it in the calendar. Wednesday.
What time works for you,
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock Wednesday?
Wednesday at 5 p.m. Does that work for you, Ty? That's like heart of traffic.
Okay, I'll check with Ryan. I'll confirm via text message.
Yo, let me just point out really quickly as a speaker, when you started this call, you were so clear and articulate.
I know. Now y'all
stuttering
and all that.
Stuttering and stumbling. Listen.
We love you, Ty.
Come on, little bro.
Come on, little bro.
Come on, nephew.
Are we not worth a steak?
My performance on this call was terrible. I already know.
Are we not worth a steak dinner?
All right. I mean, because he wants to pick our brain.
Yeah.
And you know that you're not only going to get the answers to your question. You're going to leave with so much more.
Yeah.
We not worth a little $1,000 bill.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It won't be 1,000, but
Wednesday.
It won't be 200 either.
But it will be Wednesday.
But it will be Wednesday at 5.
Yeah, we'll hit you later, Ty.
We'll hit you, Ty. Later, bye.
Yo, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate all of our people that allow us to be ourselves, and y'all love that about us. And we're going to keep it moving, man. So that's all we got, I think. That's all we got, right?
We have so much more, but that's all we have for now.
Yes. Join us on this journey, y'all. And listen, this is the year that I think it's important to really get some momentum because we don't know what's going to happen in the world. Who you voting for? I'm just all right, we'll ask for later.
Who are you voting for? Please put it out there.
I'm probably going to vote for, well, it depends.
What does it depend on?
It depends on, it depends on what room I'm in.
In this room, who are you voting for?
Okay, who are you voting for?
Okay, don't let David put you on the spot.
There's no camera.
David, who are you voting for?
1 for Kamala, 2 for Trump, 3 for somebody else. No, she raised 80-something million.
Mm-hmm. She's going to get she's going to be his side runner, his competitor. But also what has not dropped yet are what her ideas and potential policies will be.
Oh, so you're not just going to vote for her because she's the Democrat?
So I believe that...
Reese, who you voting for? Are you voting at all?
Reese, don't make me catapult up off this chair and shake you straight.
What is all right, man. Why would you be upset if he's not sure if he's voting or not?
Reese, why are you not sure about, first of all, we don't want Reese to get drugged through the mud.
He's not gonna get drugged through the mud. Some people just don't know.
Reese,
they don't know.
Why would you not vote?
No, I asked you the question, Donnie.
I want to know his answer first.
For?
Who am I voting for?
Who are you voting for?
It was clear who I was voting for prior to this change up. And so now I honestly want to look at Kamala's ideas and her policies.
So you were voting for Trump, but now you're going to go.
Child.
So you don't know, which Reese doesn't know either.
Y'all
and I don't know
never
either.
Heard me say that. Dave is trying to get a viral clip. Okay?
Yeah.
He's trying to get a viral clip. But on the trip, though, who'd you say you were voting for?
Who did everybody say they was voting for at the time?
You said you were voting for.
No, I didn't. I didn't say I was voting for somebody. I was saying that.
You said you were voting for Trump.
I didn't say I was voting for Trump. I didn't say I was voting for Trump.
Yo, you said you were voting for Trump because he's a businessman.
No, I said I do like the fact he's a businessman. And I think
you said that you were voting for Trump, and I literally got quiet in the car.
I did not say I was voting for Trump.
Oh, now you want to?
No, I did. Yo, Donnie, you're wild. I did not say I was voting for Trump. I think I said I didn't know, and I was talking about the benefits of them both, and I said there are certain things that are near and dear to me that I'm not with. Like there's some agendas that Democrats push. There are some things that are detrimental to our people that Republicans push.
What are the Democratic policies that you're not in support of?
I forgot them.
You want me to pull them up?
I forgot them.
I'll pull up the bullet points.
What do you? Oh, the bullet points.
I'll pull up the bullet points. I'll pull up some of the things the policies that are on the table right now.
Oh yeah, pull it up. Okay. Pull it up. Let's see. Hey, somebody throw it in the chat. Who are y'all voting for? I'm probably gonna vote for whoever you voting for, Donni.
Why aren't you taking the time to be more seriously informed?
Okay, here's where people stop liking me. Okay. I'm not super interested in the topic or the subject.
That's fair. But if you're going to weigh in and make a decision, instead of haphazardly doing so, if you choose to make a decision, I believe that it's your responsibility to be informed and make a well-informed decision.
Why do I have to make a decision?
You have to vote. Because people, they strongly believe that their vote doesn't matter. And it feels that way because so many people are not voting. We actually, when we pushed, do you think these people gave Obama a seat? Like just to give it to him twice? Right. Like our vote mattered.
Right, for sure.
Right?
Here's my question. No, I get it. I'm going to vote. But there are some people that are pushing the narrative like, yo, even if you don't like either candidate, vote anyway. And I think that's kind of weird.
No, it's not. So here's the thing. Even if you don't like either candidate, you still have to vote. And I hate this term, the lesser of two evils or the lesser of the two that you don't like. But you have to ask yourself what policies or what issues matter the most to me. And even though I don't like either candidate, based on what matters the most to me, I'm going to make this decision, right? Gotcha. And so I really, for those of you who feel like I don't like either one of them, both of them are unqualified, I get it. Like I get it, right? I'm not excited about who we have up for nomination right now. I'm truthfully not. However, there are issues that are incredibly important to me, and I have to make a decision based on those issues that matter to me. So if you are someone who's saying my vote doesn't matter, I don't like either candidate, so I'm not voting at all, I would suggest that maybe you take the candidate's name off the table and just put the issues out there.
That's good.
And weigh pros and cons of these issues. Circle the ones that mean the most to you, and whatever you have the most of, that's where you cast your vote.
Two things. One, I was like, yo, I like Robert Kennedy. And then, or Cornel West, they was like, yo, that's like throwing your vote away. And if you vote for one of them, you might as well not vote at all, which I think that's irresponsible as well. But the second part is, as soon as you decide to tell someone who you're voting for, like let's say we take the names off and we're just looking at the issues, when you tell somebody what issues mean more to you, they attack you as if you're doing something wrong or you're doing, you feel me?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't share my public opinion. I just like to get others.
Yeah.
So who were you voting for?
I believe that politics is a personal choice, right?
Yeah.
I believe that obviously I think that a lot of people, black, white, otherwise, are only paying attention to the highlights. You have a certain set of media that's going to be for the Republican Party, and they're going to push all the information out to support their endorsement. And then you have a certain set of media who's going to push the Democratic Party, and they are going to push out a certain type of media to support their party, which is why it's so damaging sometimes for us to be looking at the highlights. You have the blogs that are out there, and nobody's reading this stuff. Nobody's pulling it up and reading page by page by page by page. And based on the issues that are important to me, I'm actually looking at those issues first, because there are so many issues that are on the table and so many potential policies that are on the table for anyone who's not interested in it. I get it. Like it's boring. You lack understanding at some point. You got this court, that house, this justice, that thing. I get it. It's confusing and it's understanding, and it's hard to understand, but there are issues that are important to you. Are you concerned about the Department of Education potentially being eliminated? Do you have any opinion on the Department of Education? Do you have any opinion on gender equality? Do you have any opinion on government's participation in certain decisions? Do you have any opinion on women's birthrights and what they choose to do with their body? You have an opinion about something.
For sure. Maybe we can create that, like a little document where it's just policy. That'd be a good document where you take the people off, because right now it's almost like let the best marketer win.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what's happening right now. But that would be a really good idea, just side by side, and identify. That would change a lot of people's vote if you think about it. Like if you didn't have the names on there, but I guess the names are important because you're like, is this person qualified to run the country? Not just their policies, or do you think they're actually going to do the thing that they say that they stand for? That's a whole nother conversation, right?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are making their decisions by who other people are voting for, which is why I made the comment, like, voting is a choice that's so personal. But I don't, in talking about your candidate, and I get why it's being done and everybody wants their candidate to win, but I think thinking about the issues that matter to you most is probably a healthier conversation. Like, what are the issues that matter to you? Do you care about these things? And I just named just a snippet of things that are up on the table. Like, actually pull up, like, what are Donald Trump's ideas for presidency? And then actually pull up what are Kamala Harris's ideas for her potential presidency.
I think it's Kamala.
It's Kamala. Somebody spelled it out the other day. COMM. I did. COMMA.
It's okay. I'm here to help you.
Kamala.
I'm here to educate you on politics.
I love saying people's names correctly, so forgive me. It's Kamala. But looking at,
we're never going to invite it to them parties.
The ideas that she has, and literally, like, be educated on it. And even if you don't like if you know that you're voting for this person and you don't like that person, just still peek at what their ideas are, because it's giving you whatever they're focusing on. It could be different from what the other party is focusing on, but it lets you know the full scope of what's on the table. And there are things that are just happening right under our noses because we're not reading the fine print. We're only reading the highlights. We're counting on the Shade Room and CNN and Fox News to give us our political updates and telling us what, like, this is, everything that you see in the media is propaganda to push the media's agenda. Like there's somebody behind this that's pushing the media, and then the media's job is to push it out to us. You have to get off of those social sites, plug out of the media, and actually pull up the documents, because these ideas are written statements and they are made available if you just look them up and do the work.
That's good. That's good. All right. So, who are you telling Deja to vote for? Okay.
My political choices.
I don't think that's like something that needs to be like this. I made the post and I was so surprised how many people actually voiced their opinion, and some people I was surprised at. I was like,
no. So every single year, every election, whether it's the smaller office elections or a presidential election, I'm very, very expressive about where my support lies. I'm not a person who's building a brand, and I'm afraid of being canceled by people who. I'm not afraid of being canceled by people who have an issue with my political stance. And the reason for that is because I just feel like it's so immature. I have plenty of people who have already plenty of friends and customers who have already made up their mind that they're going to vote for Kamala. I also have plenty of friends and customers who have already made up their mind that they're going to vote for Trump. I am mature enough to respect people's differences and their level of understanding. So I'm not cutting people off. Now, what gets you cut off is the disrespect, right? Your choice doesn't get you cut off, but the disrespect, anything that feels racial, anything that feels like an attack, anything that, like, I don't like the people who are like, you people are stupid for blah, blah. I don't like that. I don't buy into that. So I'm not cutting people off for their decision. I can be disappointed in your decision without cutting you off. I'm mature enough to do that. So I've never lived my life afraid of what the public thinks about my opinions.
So do you feel a responsibility to, like, if you're, so I guess there's two types of people that like vote. I'm going to vote in privacy and just hope that my vote matters in the win. But then there's another person that feels this is so important that I need other people to vote for the person that I'm voting for, which I don't think, I don't think anything's wrong with either one of them, but what would you be leaning towards? Like, for instance, if you believe that this is a serious issue and this other candidate is going to really change the world in a negative way, do you at all feel a responsibility to, like, voice your opinion and tell people why? Or do you kind of just vote and keep it to yourself? I'm a more keep it to myself type of person.
So I don't necessarily feel it's my responsibility. I feel like if it's my choice, I feel like it's choice versus responsibility. And it's unfortunately because I know too much about what a general mindset thinks, right? And so, yes, in my friend group, I feel like it's my responsibility to have this dialogue with you guys on a very deep level and make sure we're considering all the facts. But I don't feel like it's my responsibility to educate the general public necessarily about these things, because, be clear, there are ideas and concerns that are very, very important to me, but I don't know everything about politics. I am not politically inclined by any stretch of the imagination. The way that I make my decisions is to look at the ideas that are currently being discussed, what's possible for this next term, and what's important to me, right? And that's that. So I am vocal about those ideas and those things. I am very eager to see Kamala's ideas. And I think anybody who's making a decision at this point about voting against her or her being whatever they feel about her, I think it's unfair, even if you are a supporter of Trump, because we don't even know exactly what she wants to do just yet.
I feel like a race war, honestly.
It's a race war. Well, before it was an age war. Now it's a race war. It's going to be whatever it is. There's always going to be something, and that's also a part of competition. Like this campaign is competition at the highest level. Yeah. Like this is competition on steroids. So they're going to slander each other. They're going to attack each other, and all of those things are entertaining and they are what they are. But we got to stay focused on what agendas are going to be pushed throughout this presidency.
Yeah.
And if you really want to make a difference, you have to vote in the smaller elections as well. And that's where your differences are truly made. What I will say though is just shut up if you're not making any decision. Period. This isn't your fight.
Yeah. I'm not going to shut up.
Yeah, but because you're making a decision.
But I think I prompt these types of conversations. It's like funny for me, but I really am looking for some information. I mean, because it's not, I know I'm not about to do no hard pursuing of understanding this because, again, it's just not my center of interest. But for those that attack me for not being super interested in it, I can attack you for all the things that I do to help our community. Like, you've never been to schools or invested in kids or, like mentored children and brought them to the studio and bought the equipment. You feel me? So that's my lane. And I think we all have to have our area of affecting the world.
Yep.
I'm just not super interested in politics. Maybe my thought process is that every year there's two people, and the fear is when one of them gets in office, the whole world is over. That's been the argument since presidents have been presidents, I believe. But I think I need to be more educated for sure on the things that's going on in my backyard.
Yeah.
Because this whole Democrat, Republican, this whole Trump, Biden, Trump, Harris thing, it seems like a show to me. And it just seems like a whole show. So I don't get involved in that. But I do need to be more educated on like what's happening in my backyard.
Well, you do, because you don't have to be super interested in politics to be concerned about the quality of your life.
For sure.
And the quality of your children's lives. And what a lot of people need to understand about this specific election, and every election really, but what we need to understand is the agendas that are pushed and any legislation that is passed will affect we don't really get the effects of it, right? These are things that are going to affect, if you have children right now, these are things that are going to affect your kids. Yeah. These are things that could potentially affect your children's children. And so we just have to take things seriously as a people. And I'm not talking about just Black people. I see the comments coming from all over. We have to take things more seriously and say, you know what, this is actually going to affect the quality of my life, how I live, how free I am, how financially stable I am. This could affect the things that are legally pushed in my children's faces. Like, we have to just take things more seriously and not look at everything as if it's hilarious and make a joke out of everything, because everything isn't a laughing matter. And the upcoming president and who that potentially is, we're in a situation where it's not a laughing matter at all. It's just not a laughing matter. So I would appreciate people, and people are going to laugh. You're going to do what you want to do. But I would appreciate the people who have some information, not based off of media headlights and social media bullet points. I would appreciate the people who actually have information without attacking people, educate people. Yeah. And that's why you have people who are not interested, because the moment that they say they don't understand or they don't know, Facts. You make them feel stupid for it. And instead, let's just educate people and tell people, hey, look, I get it. You don't understand. Let me give you my perspective on this information.
Yeah. Do you think you want to do that though? Like become a,
I don't understand enough to sit and host political conversations. Gotcha. I would love to host a conversation and understand. Yeah, I mean, we should all understand we should all understand what governs our quality of life and what governs our freedom. We should understand that. Am I the person qualified to give that education? I don't think so, but I wouldn't mind moderating a conversation with people who are.
Yeah. Would you jump on a camp? Because obviously they're going to have like campaigns and they're going to have people.
No,
they
I'm not
you wouldn't be
outside jumping on campaigns.
I do want to go to one of them parties though.
I just talked about
what?
Being serious.
No, I am. I want to go to the party. I want to be invited. No. So
whose party do you want to go to?
I don't know. It seems like you open up your app and you see all these people that are at Kamala's house, or like it's like a presidential party invited by one of the people. Like if Trump invited me, I'll go. I want to be invited to see what you're talking about and see how you're trying to convince me to use my platform or my voice to endorse you. I want to go because I want to know what's going on and what the conversations are. I want to know. I do want to know.
Yeah, I mean, and you should go. I think you should do anything that makes you feel prepared to make an educated decision.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't go to the polls based off of emotion. Like politics gets people in such an emotional uproar.
Facts.
That people shy away from it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't want to have the conversation. They rather not vote because y'all will just press people until they just feel so embarrassed or angry or whatever for not knowing, for not being clear, for making a mistake. Like, let's take this time to really band together. If you want to do anything positive during this campaign, educate people if you have some education. But if you don't, shut up and ask for the education. Stop pushing this information that isn't true and, you know, talking about stuff that doesn't matter. This is our future.
Yeah.
It really is.
For sure. Let's learn, y'all. Let's grow together. I'll be the first one to admit that I'm slightly on a journey. I'm a little more interested than I was maybe like earlier this year, or even last month or so, because all the changes of the guard and the more conversations I have with people, it's helping me realize that it is a serious issue.
Yeah.
It's a serious conversation. Again, I'm not super sold out, so I'm still gonna have fun with these conversations, but at least bring awareness that you need to go on a journey too. So let's figure it out.
And that's the agenda that we can push. That's the agenda that we can push. Education. Like, hey, let's actually take the time to go on this journey to be educated about this, to sit in and I pride myself on being able to sit in many rooms and have strong conversations. But like, I used to go to the governor's ball every single year. And if politics were being discussed, that was the time that I would get quiet because I didn't understand. So I wanted to understand policies and ideas and all these things. And I became versed in the areas of my interest. But if you start talking to me about international affairs and all those things, I don't know a whole lot. And I'm not embarrassed to say I don't know. I don't know. And so maybe the conversation that we push is, let's get educated about this. Let's learn about these things and understand, because otherwise you're voting on these things. So when you're going up to those terminals, what you picking?
Yeah.
What you just choosing in the dark. We can push that conversation. So now that our job, just like now, our job is to make sure people are educated about their options in entrepreneurship, educated about the journey. But it's not our job to tell people what to do with this information. So we can take the same stance and say, let's band together and make people want to become educated.
I do want to be honest though. When I went to the polls, I did just that.
I know you did.
You don't know all the people on the polls either. You're based on
no.
You done voted for some black names.
For sure.
That's a black name. That's a sister right there. Vote.
That looks good. That name sounds like a nice person.
Oh, yeah.
She sounds fair and just. I have absolutely done that before, for sure. Like, vote for such and such over the Department of Water.
Yeah, come on.
You're gonna get it, Keisha.
Jenkins. You deserve a shot. You can use my vote, brother.
You deserve a shot. I hadn't heard that name before. That for sure.
Oh gosh. All right, y'all. We're about to get out of here. So vote. Okay. Now
Educate.
I'm pushing. Okay, no, I'm not pushing vote. I'm pushing educate yourself.
You are pushing educate yourself for the purpose of voting.
To make a decision to vote.
Yeah.
Educate yourself to make a decision on whether you're going to vote or not.
No, David, that's not what we just spent all this time talking about. Educate yourself so you make an informed decision about who to vote for.
Educate yourself on, how you say it? On how to make an informed decision on who to vote for.
Yep.
That's our message today. We the people.
And if you don't care, shut up.
We out here, y'all.
Bye.
Peace. You just watched this whole episode. If you like this episode, watch this one right here. Click right here. You're going to like this one if you like the one you just watched. Check it out.